My name is John Roelke. I'm the Vice President of Sales and Marketing at Continental Sausage. We make the world's most delicious sausage using old world techniques with modern flair. We use the best ingredients possible that we can find, and we use old Swiss techniques that have been around for about 200 years to make them. Outside of the traditional avenues of finding employees, we tend to go for a little bit of a higher end employee, I should say. So reputation, we give a lot of tours. People after the tours want to, oh man, what can we do to work for you? We talk to chef schools, their apprenticeship programs and things like that. To tell you the differences in our company is kind of a long answer, but I'll try to do my best to paraphrase it for you. It starts with the ingredients, it starts with the people, it starts with the techniques, it starts with the sustainability. Basically, we're artists in a commodity-driven inventory. The cuts of meat we use are a very high-end cut of meat. All of our animals come from family farms, sustainable farms, and farms that practice anti-cruelty, humane husbandry. Also, none of our animals have ever been given steroids, antibiotics, or hormones. We tend to use, for the majority of our pork, is pork sirloins. We tend to use beef bottom rounds and bison bottom rounds as our main cuts of meat. The fats that we use are beautiful jowls as well. So it tends to be a higher cut of meat. Then the techniques we use are very different, where the majority of Americans will use emulsifiers and grinders to make their sausages. We actually use a traditional Swiss method of chopping with buffalo choppers. So, you imagine a ground meat, how that looks, you buy it at the grocery store. Imagine that going into a casing. And then imagine a consistency of like a peanut butter going into the casing. And that's kind of the difference between us and the technique side of it. And then there's the whole sustainability side of what we do. Our plant is one of the most sustainable sausage making facilities in the country. We are one of the highest rated processors in the whole food system last year. So we take a lot of pride in the fact that our smokehouse, the air coming into our smokehouse, is dirtier than the air that leaves our smokehouse. It's a technology you don't find in America very often. The fact that we filter our water, just those types of little things that we do set us apart from the majority of everybody. Kind of a funny obstacle and one that we're happy to have, but it's been capacity and growth. We've blown up so much in the past 3 to 4 years that being able to handle this growth on our own in our current facility has been very difficult for us. Thankfully, the style of employee that we've hired is, like I said, a very high-end employee. They're very aware of what they're doing in the surroundings. So they've managed very well in the last 3 to 4 months of construction and the last 3 years of consistent growth. We were able to manage that financially all on our own. So now, thankfully, we're adding 10,000 square feet to our facility. It should be done here, hopefully by the end of the summer. Well, that expansion is a big part of our what's in store for us. Right now, we need to be able to make sure before we move forward in any more sales growth that we're able to handle any potential projects that might come our way. With 10,000 square feet adding on, we're going to have a state-of-the-art facility. It's going to be, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be probably one of the nicest charcuterie houses in America. All state-of-the-art equipment while keeping in mind our traditional Swiss values, our traditional Swiss techniques, and never losing sight of who we are and why we have gotten to where we are. It's going to be fascinating. We should be done with that hopefully end of August, middle of September.